Hello, this is Dr. Martina, your online sex therapist and sex educator. This is the third part of a 3-part series about sex and anxiety. I will offer a link to the first and the second part at the end of this video, and I highly recommend for you to watch it. And in this third part, I will explain a 3-phase Sensate Focus Exercise. So you can learn how to decrease your sexual anxiety or diminish any sexual challenges that you may have, and increase your connection with your partner. Or if you're single, increase your connection with yourself. We communicate with touch. Our intention to give comfort or solace, convey reassurance, show devotion, and describe love or physical need is expressed first by touch. Sexual function is not just a physical expression. It is our senses, touch, smell, sound, taste, and sight, that bring responsive meaning to the sexual act. And that is the same for female as it is for male. I have mentioned earlier that sexual anxiety is one of the main reasons for sexual difficulties. And suppose touch is one of the first expressions of love and sexual desire, in that case, we can use touch to heal anxiety and help us overcome sexual challenges like vaginism, erectile dysfunction, anorgasmia, premature ejaculation, and so on. And the Sensate Focus exercises are designed just to do that, to help you overcome anxiety. Let me introduce you to them.
Welcome to Phase 1 exercise and its guidelines. First, get naked as my friends would say. Clothes in this case can be a distraction from the stimuli, so make sure you both are naked. Secondly, I am asking you to refrain from genital contact. This will remove performance anxiety for both genders and help you not fall into the spectator role. The spectator role is when you fall into your fears of failing sexually and are so preoccupied with those fears that you're completely disconnected from your body and become a spectator. We are not going to do that. Therefore, breasts and genitals are off limits. The purpose is not to be sexual, but to establish an awareness of touch sensations by noticing textures, contours, temperatures, and contrast while touching. Time does not determine the duration of each session. The pleasure of touching and the joy of receiving touch dictate how long the exercise should last. But make sure you don't ever bring it to the point of physical fatigue or procedural boredom for either partner. A rewarding 5 minutes is worth much more than a stressful half hour. Now the guidelines for the touchy and the toucher. The person who is touching, do so on what interests you, not on any guesses about what the partner likes or doesn't like. This is not a massage or an attempt to arouse the partner sexually. And the person who's being touched, all they have to do is be aware of the sensations of being touched, connect with your senses, and welcome pleasure. And the last thing, this initial exercise is being done silently. Words can distract from awareness of physical sensations for both partners. Welcome to Phase 2 exercise. The touching now expands to the inclusion of breasts and genitals. But please don't go diving right onto the genitals. Begin with general body touching and stay interested in what you're sensing. Remember, the emphasis is on awareness of physical sensations, not the expectations of a particular sexual response. Suggestions for positions I want to give you now. If you're female and you're receiving touch, it is nice to lean against your partner's chest and have them support a half sitting up position. The touch comes from behind you and will allow you to stay focused on receiving. If you're male and you're receiving touch, have your partner sit between your legs facing you so the partner can help you focus on receiving and not spectatoring. Now at this point, try the handwriting technique as a more direct way than nonverbal communication. The couple takes turns with this exercise. The receiver places a hand on top of the partner's hand that is touching their body. This way, they can indicate more pressure, lighter touch, a faster or slower type of stroking, or a change to a different spot. Now the partner indicates their preferences when the roles are reversed. Now the trick is to stay fluid with this and integrate these nonverbal messages so that the person being touched doesn't become a traffic cop or try to control the scene. The handwriting adds some additional input to the touching, which is still primarily done based on what interests the toucher. Now we're getting to the third and last phase of this. Instead of taking turns touching each other, now I'm going to ask you to do some mutual touching. A twofold purpose for that is, firstly, it provides a more natural form of physical interaction, because in real life, people usually don't take turns touching and being touched. And secondly, it doubles the potential source of sensual input. This is a critical step in spectatoring. Spectators can shift their attention to their own or their partner's body. They can get into the feeling of, quote unquote, being lost in the touch. And they can stay away from watching their own or their partner's respond.
As simple as these techniques may sound, it is a remarkable thing how effective they are. I use Sensate Focus in my practice a lot. And because there's such a simple touching, with couples that have been together for 10, 15 years or 20 years, they think, can we just skip those exercises? And the thing is, you cannot. And the success of Sensate Focus exercises definitely dramatically increases when you're doing this in a program, in a therapy program. It can be a very short therapy program, because when you come back from doing the exercises and we talk about it, we will put a light on the dynamics of the relationship, and we can work on balancing that out. I wanted to introduce you to Sensate Focus because we live in a culture that drives on anxiety, especially when it comes to sexual expressions and sexual experiences. So I hope that you will give it a try. I hope you will do them with your partner. I hope you will do them with yourself. You can connect with yourself through these exercises. You can connect with the hand that touches your body, or with the body that is being touched by your hand. If you get stuck, please give me a call. Do not throw the idea away. We can go into a short therapy program where I can teach you about the versatile tool of a touch against sexual anxiety. I'm very much looking